If you are serious about changing your life, if you are serious about achieving your goals, achieving your dreams, this is the most life-changing video you can ever watch. The number one key, the number one ingredient, the number one aspect, the number one, if there is a secret for success, that's self-image. If you want to succeed, you have to become the person who already have all the success, all the happiness, all the joy, all the money. And how do you become that person? By changing your self-image. Because however you see yourself, whatever you think about yourself, however you feel about yourself, that's exactly what you manifest. That's exactly how you behave. Let me read you this quote. This quote says, "We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training." That's a Greek quote from Archilochus that can be said another way, that is also mentioned in this book, Atomic Habits, when James Clear said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system." You cannot rise above how you see yourself. I'm going to say it again. You cannot rise. You cannot move forward above how you see yourself. You cannot rise. You will never rise above how you see yourself. Which means if you want to rise, you must see yourself differently. And your self-image can be changed. If you ever think that, oh no, I'm the way I am, this is my identity, I cannot change myself, that's completely false. Do you know why? Because let me read you from the book. Every belief, including those about yourself, is learned and conditioned through experience. Which means the person you are right now, you have become that person based on the experience you have been having. You cannot rise above how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as somebody who's a loser, somebody who is unhappy, somebody who's unhealthy, somebody who's broke, somebody who's stupid, you are going to remain right there. Because whatever you think about yourself, however you see yourself, that's who you are. Period. Nobody can change that. If you see yourself as somebody who's weak, somebody who's not successful, somebody who's dumb, somebody who cannot make money, somebody who is not happy, somebody who is not successful, that's who you are going to be. However, that can be changed because you can change your self-image at any point that you choose to. And keep watching this video because I'm going to show you how. In the other side, if you see yourself as somebody who's successful, somebody who's a billionaire, somebody who's strong, somebody who's wise, somebody who's disciplined, somebody who's positive, somebody who's confident, that's who you are. And you cannot only say, oh, look at me, I'm confident, I'm good enough, yoo-hoo. No, your habits, your actions have to match your self-image. If you say you are good enough, then act as somebody who feels that he or she is good enough. If you tell yourself you are good enough, but you go out there doubting yourself, you go out there acting as though somebody who's scared of speaking up, then you don't think you are good enough. If you say, I am successful, but you go every day, you complain, you make excuses, you are lazy, then are you truly successful? Whatever self-image you create about yourself, you can accomplish it. But you have to make sure your actions are matching that self-image. The moment you change your self-image, you are going to change your life. And that concept too was explained in the books Cybernetics. If you don't know about it, you can Google it. It's a Cybernetics, which explain how with your psychology, which is your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your feelings, how with your psychology you can change, how you have the power, right, to work on your mind, to train your mind to develop systems, to develop beliefs that are going to allow you to create the life you want for yourself. And in case you don't believe me, right, I'm gonna read you what did it say. Cybernetics can also be understood as self-governing, which means you governing yourself, which means you in charge of yourself, which means you taking ownership of your life. That you know that you are the one in control of your life, that you can control your mind, that you can create system, that you can create habits that are going to allow you to change your image, change the way you see yourself, and you are going to change the experiences and the outcomes of your reality. Because best believe, if you think you ain't good enough, if you think you cannot make billions, if you think you are not strong, that's exactly what you are going to reflect in your life. Because whatever you believe about yourself, you are absolutely right. If you think you are dumb, nobody can tell you otherwise. If you think you cannot be successful, nobody can tell you otherwise. Because that's exactly what you believe about yourself. But I'm here to tell you that the secret for you, for your success, is for you to change your self-image. Visualize. Who do you want to become? Whenever you know who do you want to become, start acting, thinking, behaving as that person. You have to create habits, right, that the person that you want to become already have. Because if you already have the habits, the mindset, the attitude, and you do the actions of the person you want to become, then you are already that person. Because what defines a person? Their habits, their mindset, their behaviors. So if you already have the habits, the mindset, the behavior of the person you wish to become, you are going to become that person sooner or later. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. So you got to change your identity. You have to. There is no other options. If the person you are right now is not giving you the life you want, change yourself. Change your identity. It's possible. And people walk around life saying, right, and think about it. The things you say about yourself, that's what your mind is going to believe, and that's what you are going to become. Because how many people go around life saying things like, oh, I'm terrible at math. I'm terrible with keeping names. I'm terrible at directions. I'm not a morning person. I don't know how to work out. I'm not good with technology. I'm not good with relationships. Whenever you say that to yourself, guess what? You are listening. And guess what? Whatever you listen to the most, you end up believing it. So what if you change those words and you can tell yourself, I can get better at math. I can get better at relationship. I can get better at remembering names. I can get better at working out. This book says too, what you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consciously or unconsciously. Which means what you do every day is a reflection of who you are. What you do tells everybody about you, about who you are. Even if you know it or if you don't know it, but your actions is the only revelation of your personality. Your actions is the only revelation of your success or of your happiness. Your actions is the only revelation of your failure, of your misery, or your unhappiness. Because your consistent actions create the type of life you have. Change your image. Start seeing yourself as somebody who's powerful, as somebody who's worthy, as somebody who's good enough. And whenever you see that person as somebody who has all of those things, don't just go out there and talk and be like, oh, I'm good enough. Oh, I'm positive. Oh, I'm so and so and so. No. Instead of you saying the things you are, start acting, start thinking, start behaving as that person. Because your identity, the person you are right now, can be changed. Absolutely. The person you are right now can be changed. For example, me. The moment I knew the person I want to become, I immediately started acting, behaving, and thinking as that person. I see myself as somebody who will travel the world, inspiring and motivating people. Traveling the world, changing people's life in the most positive and kind way possible. So I asked myself, that person that travels the world, inspiring and motivating people, which type of habit does that person have? Once I named the habits, I forced myself to have those habits. Because the person I want to become, that person is not lazy. That person is not negative. That person does not put other people down. That person does not complain. That person does not blame. That person takes ownership. That person is powerful. That person is confident. That person is disciplined. That person reads a lot, which I do. I read a lot. I read a lot. And how do I do that? Because I already use my imagination, which is also talked about in the book Cybernetics. I use my imagination to visualize, to dream about the person I want to be. And once I find that person in my imagination, I start acting, behaving as that person now. Because no matter how much you can imagine to have something, by the way, whatever you imagine, you can have it. No matter how much you can imagine about something, you can dream about something, you can think about something. No matter how much imagination you can use onto something, if your actions are not aligned, you're not going to become that person. You're not going to become that person. So I started changing my behaviors, I changed my mindset, I changed my habits. So do a simple exercise. Today, ask yourself, the person I want to be, which type of habits that person have? Which type of mindset that person have? What does that person do daily? Where does that person spend the most time? Because if right now, the person you want to become doesn't have the habits you currently have, then change your habits, change your mindset. Because if you change it, then you are going to become the person you want to become. And you can change your identity. You can change your self-image. You can change the person you are right now. In this book, there is he explained 3 layers of changing your identity, changing your behavior. The first one is changing your outcomes, which means changing your solutions. The second one is changing your process, which is changing the way you are doing things. The third one, which is the most difficult, which is the one I was emphasizing in this video, is changing your identity, changing your self-image, which you can do by changing the things you do daily, by actually acting, behaving as the person you wish you can become. Stop acting as the person you are right now, because if the person you are right now makes you unhappy and keep you broke, don't stop acting as that person. Change yourself and start acting as the person you wish to become. Another exercise you can do is figure out the person you don't want to be like. The person you never want to be like that person. Figure out what that person look like, how that person dress, how that person think, the habits of that person, the mindset of that person, the behaviors of that person, how that person dress, and do the complete opposite. This is the exercise for you. Name, figure out who is the person you don't want to become. Who is the person you will hate yourself if you become that person. Name the habits, name the mindset, name the things that person do. Where does that person go? Which type of fun that person have? Which type of food that person eat? Which type of friends that person have? Once you find out the lifestyle of that person that you don't want to become, simply do the opposite. Or simply don't do that stuff. Because a lot of you watching this video, you have the habits, you have the mindset, you have the behaviors of the person you hate the most. Why do you have it? Why do you do it? I'll give you a simple exercise. Figure out the person. Because use the inverse. Instead of you thinking about the person you want to be, think about the person you don't want to be. And do not do the things that person is doing. Don't have the mindset, the behaviors, the habits, the attitude of that person you don't want to become. Because if you have the habits, the behaviors, the mindset, the attitude of that person that you hate to become, you are going to become that person. So use the inverse. Instead of you thinking about the person you want to become, think about the person you don't want to become and put all your energy into not being that person. You can change your identity. You can change the person who you are right now. If you need some references, you can use this book, Atomic Habits. You can also use the book Cybernetics. It is Cybernetics explain how you can train your own mind. You can train your own thoughts. You can create belief system. You can train your mind. You can work on your mind so much that your mind start creating system, start creating beliefs, start creating ideas, start creating ways in where you can achieve your goals, in where you can achieve your dreams, in where you can be the person you choose that you want to be. Change your self-image. Whatever you say about yourself is true, and nobody can tell you otherwise. Instead of you walking around being like, oh no, I'm not good enough, oh no, I can't do it, oh no. Be confident on the person who you are. Speak up for yourself, love yourself, support yourself, believe in yourself. Start acting as the person you know you are, because there is no need for you to see yourself so low, to think that you are not good enough, you are useless, you are powerless. Change that conception, change that self-image into a brighter, stronger, positive, healthier self-image. The moment you change your self-image right here, your life is going to change. Your life is going to change. Train your mind, because your mind is a machine. Your mind is a machine that you can work on to have the self-image, or to create and to build the person you want to build. And there is a pattern that is mentioned in the book Cybernetics about the formula to change your self-image. It's picture, mental image, picture of the person you want to become. Have a strong desire every day. Wish to be that person every day with all your energy. And then act every single day. Take steps every single day towards the person you have imagined you want to be. Because it doesn't matter how much you can imagine or think about that person, or how much you can desire to be that person. If you do nothing to become that person, you are not going to become that person. Because actions is the only thing that brings changes. Actions is the only thing that brings progress. So formula to change your self-image: mental picture. Picture who the person you want to be look like. What does that person do? How does that person behave? How does that person eat? Which book that person read? Second, have a desire that you want to become that person. And last but not least important, which is the most important, actions. Act. Because a lot of you say, I want to be successful. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be happy. A lot of you desire for success. A lot of you desire for happiness. A lot of you desire for peace. A lot of you desire to make money. However, what do you do to make that money? What do you do to be happy? What do you do to be at peace? Because you can think about it, you can dream about it, you can talk about it. But if your actions are not matching your desires or your words, you're never gonna make it. Actions. I'm gonna name the books in the description box if it was helpful, and let me know in the comments what you think about this video. And let me remind you that you can change your self-image. You can change the person you are, and pay attention to the words you say about yourself. Change your vocabulary. Instead of saying I'm not good at math, be like, hey, I can get good at math. Instead of you saying I don't do good with relationship, say I can get good at relationship. Instead of you saying I can make money, say I can learn how to make money. Instead of you saying I cannot be happy, say I can learn how to be happy. And if you wake up every day, you tell yourself negative things, change your self-talks as well. Start talking to yourself in the most positive, in the most healthy way. At least I do it. If you can open my self-talk, if you can listen to the way I'm talking to myself, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Right now I'm making this video, you know what I'm telling myself in my mind? You know what my self-talk is telling me? That this hoodie looks good on me. That I like how my hair looks today and every day. That I love my skin color. That I'm beautiful. That I'm strong. That I'm wise. That I'm positive. That I'm confident. Those are the things that goes to my mind. That's my self-talk. My head, my mind is full of positivity. It's full of amazing energy about myself. And then I reflected. However, what is your self-talk? A lot of you talk so negative about yourself, and then you complain why you are not having the life you want to have. Just look at the way you talk to yourself. Look at the way you treat yourself. I'm going to say what I said at the beginning. Every belief, including those about yourself, is learned and conditioned through experience. And since every belief about yourself is learned, it means that it can be unlearned. If you have any negative, toxic belief about yourself, unlearn it and learn positive and healthy beliefs about yourself. It's not enough to just talk about it. It's not enough to just read about it. It's not enough to just dream about it. It's not enough to imagine, wish about it. It's not enough. You know why? Because until you act, until you take action, until you take steps, no matter how many books, no matter how many videos you are going to read, your self-image is not going to change. And if your self-image doesn't change to be the person you wish to be, you are not going to have the success you wish to have. Because in order for you to have that success, you have to become the person that have that success. And if your habits, if your current habits, your current mindset, the current way you talk to yourself, the current way you treat yourself, the current way you behave, the things you eat, the places you visit, the people you hang out with, are not related or connected to the person you want to be, you are never going to be that person. You are never going to be that person. If this video was helpful to you, let me know in the comments, subscribe, and see you in my next video. Thank you for your attention.